A veteran actor who you may know from Law & Order or Grey's Anatomy has recently made a big revelation about his past.
For the first time, Jack Merrill is publicly sharing his story of being abducted by serial killer John Wayne Gacy nearly 5 decades ago. He's written a one-man show about his extraordinary survival. It's called The Save, and Jack joins us now live. Jack, thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Thank you. How you doing?
Doing well. So, you know, we're just learning about this story. Is this something you had shared with close family and friends for years, and you're just now sharing with the public?
Yes. A couple of my family members knew, and most of my close friends.
And why now?
As I say, after a certain time with people I became close to, I felt like I had to tell them.
And our information says this happened in '78. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Because he had murdered multiple people prior to that. Why would he risk getting caught by letting you go?
I can't answer that. I don't know. I'm not actually positive why he let me go.
You have an idea about why?
I think it's sort of what my show is about. I came from a background that had some emotional abuse, and I sort of knew how to deal with someone like him. And I made sure I never angered him, even though he abducted and raped me. And I think that had something to do with it. He actually thought that he could trust me not to say anything, I guess. And at the time, of course, I didn't know he was a killer. I just knew that he had abducted me. But the funny thing is to look back at it back in 1978 as a kid. I was 19 years old. I just turned 19. I was out on my own very early, and there were a lot of things like that went on, a lot more unreported than they do now.
And
Go ahead. I mentioned the fact that, now we call people at-risk youth. Back then we were just bad kids.
Yeah, right.
Talk about why you didn't go public, or when Gacy was arrested, you did call the police. Talk about that.
No, I didn't call the police. I called the city desk of the Sun-Times. My father was a writer at the Sun-Times. He was a baseball writer named Jerome Holtzman.
Right.
And I grew up in the media. And in our house, when something like that happened, you called the city desk. I remember when there was a lumber yard that burned down in Evanston, and we called the city desk, to find out why the sky was glowing. There was no internet back.
Yeah.
And I called the city desk, and he immediately tried to get my name, and I backed off because I was sensitive about my family's name.
Did your dad know?
He did not. I never told him.
Yeah. And I know you were young, but knowing what happened, and he was caught in December of '78, as you got older, were you haunted by the fact that you didn't call police?
No, I was not. I've never been. First off, he was caught right after that. And second off, I've never felt, I was a 19-year-old kid in 1978 who was raped. You go call the police. I mean, I'm sorry, but things were different then.
No, I understand, but that's why I'm saying I understand you were 19. But as you got older, looking back, fortunately he was caught, but you have no regrets about not calling the police.
I did not. I did not know he was a murderer. And quite frankly, he wasn't the only person who assaulted me when I was a kid. He was obviously the worst one. But as I say in my show, what people now call assault, I used to call Saturday night.
Oh, geez. Jack,
but it's true.
Talk about how you're dealing.
Different then.
Your play is called The Save. It's a one-man show. Is it solely about this experience, or is it the total of your life experiences and how you're dealing with it?
It's really leading up to this. It's growing up in Evanston. It's very Chicago-based. It's funny, I'm doing it in L.A. right now, but Chicagoans would understand it a lot more than people in L.A. They would. I mean, just the locations and everything. But I grew up in Evanston. It's about growing up, and it's about what it was like growing up back then, and sort of how my childhood equipped me with the tools I needed to deal with him when he came along.
Wow.
Wow. Well, it's an unbelievable story. We wish you well, Jack. You can get more information at thesaveplay.com, and you can follow Jack on Instagram. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you. Come to LA and see the play, or maybe I'll take it to Chicago.
There
I'd
you
love
go.
to.
Stop by the studio if you come back to town. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay. Thank you.